I always like your dreads. I love
My
those.
locks,
Your
girl,
locks, yes, they're
I ain't
beautiful.
going back.
Yeah, it's probably
Locks,
easier
let
to
me say,
deal with.
locks are wash and wear, sex and go. I was like, oh, thank you. That was lovely.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Unapologetically 50 Plus. So, this is part two of my conversation with Taylor Sparks from Organic Lovin'. We are going to continue the conversation on how non traditional relationships redefine commitment. So, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and let's get started or let's continue this conversation. What role does intergenerational dialogue play in shaping attitudes about non traditional relationships?
Intergenerational. So you mean like our children?
Yes, exactly.
They're
Children,
more
your
open.
parents, maybe if your parents are still alive.
No, listen to your parents. Don't listen to your parents. You should have stopped listening to him when you left the house because their generation is different, except for
Yes.
if they're telling you how to save or make money. But that's about it. The younger children are more open to because they've grown up in the age of the internet, so they've been exposed to having friends whose parents have been divorced. Their
Yeah.
moms got, they got two mommies at home or two daddies. They've grown up in the age of drag queens being on
Yeah.
TV, not just know that man down the street wear dresses sometimes on Saturdays. They've grown up in
Yes.
the age of LGBTQ
Right.
plus. So it is more open. Ethical non-monogamy is more, they're more open to the idea or the ideals of ethical non-monogamy. And
Hmm.
so you might turn to your children and go, hey, because my daughter and my son, she's like, oh God, all my friends follow you. I'm like, what? So they go, oh no, they follow you all the time. They love your, your IG, no, they all follow you. They think you're a
Wow.
goddess. Well, your mom is a goddess. Well, I know you're a goddess, but you know what I'm saying, mom. I've had their friends even call me with relationship questions, with sexual health
Mhm.
and wellness questions,
Okay.
because they can't ask their own parents. And we're
Right.
talking young adults, like in their 20s. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
this is what I was thinking, Ma, how you feel about that? So
Nice.
if your parents are still alive and you have younger children or younger people in your circle, be open
Okay.
on both sides. I'm not saying don't listen to your parents, right? I'm just teasing with that, but you have to be
Right.
open because you don't want to be the person that gets stuck in the mud, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, and
Mm-hmm.
always looking over your shoulder and looking backwards as to what was. Be open to learning new things, even if that learning new thing is a different relationship style. Doesn't mean you will embark upon it,
Right.
but being able to learn about it and not just go on, what Betty Ann said at the church picnic about
Mm-hmm.
Luther and his side piece. Because Luther's side piece is a woman that he loves that he's had in his life for 22 years.
Yeah.
And look, he's married for 30 years.
Yeah.
She's been around 22 years. They actually have children together. That's not
Mm.
a side piece. That is a loving relationship.
Yeah.
And his wife knows. She's chosen not to acknowledge it publicly, but she
Right.
knows.
Right.
And whatever boundaries they have, they have. Um, oh God, what is the woman's name? Esther Pearl.
Oh.
Her latest book, or her last book, The State of Affairs,
Mm.
Rethinking Infidelity, is an amazing book. The State of Affairs.
Okay. I'm
Because
writing that down.
yeah, it is between her and several of her fellow therapists, counselors, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
and what they have embarked upon when it comes to infidelity and how we have, we always want to blame this third person, this outside person for ruining the relationship somehow,
Mm-hmm.
even after death. you know,
Yeah.
Not realizing that this is not just some side thing, that this thing that's been going on might have been going on for 5, 10 years. This is a relationship.
Right.
And what is it that this other person provides? Going back to one person cannot give you everything you desire above and beyond sex. Is it
Right.
a type of sex?
Mm.
I was on the show Married to Medicine a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Um, and during the show, I don't think they put this in the clip, but during the show, I did ask. So everybody in the show was married anywhere from 25 days to 25 years. And I asked
Mm.
the couples, how many of you here have ever asked your partner what type of sex you enjoy? Crickets.
Mm.
Nobody had asked their partner what type of sex they enjoy. And I'm like, why not? Why? How? This is the person you've chosen to love for the rest of your life, and you have not said, hey, what do you enjoy in bed? What kind of kinks do you have? Do you have any kinks? And I
Okay.
ended up coaching one of the couples afterwards, and they had been married for some time. And I said, so since the show, have you guys addressed that question? And they still had not. I said, well, we're going to address it in session today.
Mm.
And so I let the husband speak first, and he named all the things he enjoyed. And then the wife spoke, and she named all the things she enjoyed. And the
Uh,
only thing they had in common was fun. Nothing. I said, well, this is in part why you're not aligned sexually. You don't enjoy the same things in bed.
okay.
You have to ask your partner. And then you have to check back in a year or two. So do you still enjoy that? Have
Still,
you
yeah.
discovered
Because
something new?
things
They could
change.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, they could have discovered it on porn, or somebody could have told them. I mean, the same way we discover anything else, like somebody
Yeah.
tells you about a new restaurant, you hear about that new move, just Top Cat, like what's Top Cat? Can I do the Top Cat? And then found out that that was actually called the Amazon sex position. My partner had named it the Top Cat, but then we discovered it's actually called the Amazon sex position. Look up the female Amazon sex position.
Okay. Female. I've got all
I
kind
will
of
tell
notes
you,
here.
it is a LGP. It's a long position
Oh, okay.
because he needs to have enough for you to do this position.
Okay.
But it is for him, it's the most enjoyable thing. And for you, it's very
Oh,
empowering.
oh, okay. Well, I will definitely look that up when
Yeah,
we
and then let
finish
me know
here.
how that goes. Send me video. Okay, don't send me video. I'm teasing. Okay, yes, I'm not really teasing. Send me the video.
So
I made her blush. I made her blush.
you did. So in a world where you can share physical intimacy with multiple partners,
Hmm,
how do you, talking to
hmm.
you, these are your questions now. How do you
Okay.
keep the flame of desire burning equally for each of your partners?
Each of the partners are different, so it doesn't need to be equal.
Okay.
They're all different. I love them. I love them all for different reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm with this partner, I love the thing that they do. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very excited to do that thing with them.
Okay.
And I'm with this partner, I love the thing that they do. So this is not
Okay.
this not to be this doesn't have to be a balance beam. It's not a seesaw, so to speak. Like if I get off, someone's going to fall.
Right. Okay.
It's not that. You love different because we are multifaceted as people. We are not monolithic, right? So because we're multifaceted, we enjoy different things with different people. So one of my partners was Cuban, his wife from Senegal. She was really reserved in her personality, right? He was like me, an extreme extrovert. We lived 20 minutes from each other and would get on the phone and literally talk for 2 hours on the phone. 2 hours straight. He loved the nude beach. I love the nude beach. She didn't like nude beach. Right? She was like,
Oh.
no, you go with Taylor. I'm just gonna have some quiet time at home, reading my book and eating my
Okay.
bonbons. You know, and my other partner, his wife didn't like we shared a love of kink together. She didn't
Oh.
want to go to kink events. So we would go to kink events together. We dress up, we go to the party. Yeah. And the other guy, his wife was submissive and I am not. So I'm like, you just that dominant shit over there with her because I ain't playing games. We would go to a kink event and double team us up, you see. So it doesn't need
Well,
to
you said
be
double team of what?
a submissive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we would find a submissive at the party and we would double
Oh,
team. That's like double spank or double flog or, you
oh,
know,
wow.
because
Okay.
I'm dominant too. I mean, I could do
Oh,
submissive acts if I had to, but
yes. You're like, if I had to.
if that's going to satisfy him, sure, sure, sure. Because I know I get the goodies in the end. So it's like he's happy. Then I'm like, give me, give me, give me.
Now,
So it's
do
not a
you find,
requirement.
oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
no, go
gonna say,
ahead.
do you find that men are less likely to want to share their woman with other men in your experiences, or even coaching? Do you hear that a lot where, I want to, but I just, more jealousy, I should say, on the side of the men.
More it's more insecurity more than jealousy. It is
Okay.
it feel yes, I would say that a lot of men do not want to share because it has been groomed to them that no, not groomed. Let me back that up. It has come through society that women cannot handle more than one man. And this has been the way to control women. This is a patriarchal concept
What do you mean by
because
handle? What do you
you
mean?
you can't your body
Emotionally?
can't be with another your body can't handle another man. Your body's
Gotcha.
not
Gotcha.
designed for more seeds. You can only get pregnant once. You do not have the emotional capacity to have
Gotcha.
more than one sexual relationship or emotional relationship. You're not built that way. That's a patriarchal concept to keep women in their place.
Gotcha.
So that's been
Okay.
passed on for years and years and years and years and years, right?
Okay.
Centuries, women have been told, oh my God, I'm just so faint. Oh Lord, he took
Right.
advantage of me when I swooned when he looked at me. He took advantage of me, my Lord. I don't know. It's the Immaculate Conception. I did
Okay.
not,
Gotcha.
you see what I mean? Of course,
Gotcha.
I did not have sex with another man. It came from above. Just let that man find out you had sex. You will be stoned to death.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying the Immaculate Conception didn't happen. I'm just saying if she was smart, she would have claimed Immaculate Conception because otherwise she would have been stoned to death
Yeah.
back in the day. So men have come to believe that to be true. And some men know that it is not true.
Okay.
And some men are excited at the fact that their woman has another man. They
Mm.
are excited, whether it's sexually, to know that she
Hmm.
is sexually with another man,
Hmm.
or they also find it, they love her so much and they know my woman loves, I'll use my example, salsa dancing.
Hmm.
She has finally found a man that will go salsa dancing with her 3 nights a week and take her
So
out on
I don't
sex.
have to.
So I don't have to. You know, they could be having sex. I do not care. I just do not want to go salsa dancing. I am extremely happy this man. And this was the thing for me. So we started open, transitioned to back into the swing. I discovered polyamory to the
Uh,
dismay of my husband, who was like, "We're doing what now?" I'm like, "I want a boyfriend. No, I want 3 boyfriends. I want a dom. No, I am a dom." He's like, "What?" He's like, "I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want
yeah.
to date. I'm gonna get my sex and come home." I'm like, "Well, I want boyfriends." And it was a bit of a struggle to transition the first couple of years, but then he realized that the 3 boyfriends I had loved me.
Hmm.
And he knew that if I was with them at a party, at a swinger club,
Hmm.
and if something happened, I don't know, a fight broke out, I don't know, something happened, the
Right.
car broke down the side of the road, that those men loved me and would protect me as much as he would.
Okay.
That if I was in my car in an Uber and the car broke down at 2 o'clock in the morning and I was near their home within an hour or even two, that I could call them and
Right.
say, "Babe, my rental car broke down. I'm in an Uber. I'm 2 hours away." That they would get up out of the bed with their woman and come get me.
Mm.
Hey,
Okay.
Taylor just called. Her car broke down because we had loving relationships.
Okay.
and still do. I mean, you don't really break up in polyamory. You kind of just transition out of it. My ex, boy, he's like, you're still my girlfriend. We just don't have sex anymore. As he said to my husband, our ex-husband, and in front of his new girlfriend, oh no, she's still mine. She's still my girlfriend. We just don't have sex anymore. But she's welcome anytime she wants to come back. Like, I'm not coming back. I'm done with you. Maybe.
Maybe. So how do you and your partners negotiate the boundaries of your sexual adventures?
Just like you negotiate who's going to take out the trash.
Okay.
What do you agree to? What do you not agree to? And this is the thing, you have to, a lot of times at the beginning of opening the relationship, we set borders up, not
Okay.
boundaries. And we're setting these boundaries to control and protect the relationship until such
Okay.
time you realize the relationship don't need to be protecting. When we first started, we had 2,711 boundaries. Like the whole state of North Carolina was off. Not just the city, you could have sex with nobody in the whole state of North Carolina.
Okay.
Like no spending the night, no falling in love, condoms 110% of the times, STI checks. No,
Yeah.
no in-laws, no co-worker. I mean, it was 110. By the end of it all, I think the only boundaries we had was, no children and no animals. I think that was all we had left. But when you set the boundaries,
Yeah.
you have to realize, not have to, but it's good to realize you don't want to make these borders like the cement walls on the canal that the boat goes under. You don't want them to make them immovable. You want them
Right.
to be more like the shoreline that ebbs
Liquid.
and flows.
Mm-hmm.
And you want
Yeah.
to say, these are the boundaries, right? But if you come upon a situation and you're like, this is something I really, really want to do, and you believe this is the best thing for your decision to do, all I'm asking is for you to consider me. Consider like, okay, now when I tell her I broke this boundary, how is she going to take this? How is she going to feel about this?
Right.
And
Right.
if you still feel like I'm going to do this, then go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not, we'll talk about it when you get home or whatever. I'm not policing a grown man. All I'm asking is that I am considered
I'm considering. Yeah.
because I cannot control and I do not wish to control an adult.
Right. Right.
So when I was with one of my partners and his wife, and we were what's called fluid bonded. That means
Okay.
the three of us all got tested for STIs. We all discovered we were good, so we no longer needed to use condoms between us. He was only having
Okay.
sex with her and I, right?
Okay.
And if we had sex with anybody outside of ourselves, each other, we would use condoms. That was the boundary.
Okay.
Everybody agreed. A year or something later, he meets his other chick. He's in new relationship energy. He's all head over heels about her. They had been dating like 2 months, and he came to us and said, I want to fluid bond with her. We were like, what? You just met this chick. You can't be, don't be taking off. Why do you take a condom off? You already got what you need right here. Why you need more women? Why, he was like, I came to you. I had the conversation. We're getting tested this weekend. We will bring the results.
Okay.
So what are our choices now? Right? Well, I could leave
Right.
him.
Right.
Right? I could stop having sex with him,
Right.
or I could make him start wearing condoms with me. Because the only thing I can control is
Is
my
you.
body.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, you have to go back to wearing condoms with me. Then he's upset. I'm like, no, my body, my choice. You're doing what you want to do with your body.
Right.
I get to decide what happens with my body.
Right.
So everything's negotiable, but it
Mm.
doesn't have to be this hard cut and dry. I'm not gonna if you don't do what I say.
Right.
Do what you want.
Do
This
what
is
you
the part
want.
I can control. And then we lived happily ever after until he lost his mind. But that's another story.
What was the most unexpected or unconventional boundary you've explored?
Hmm. Unconventional. I, I think the biggest thing for me as I kind of transitioned in and through was the spending the night with my partner and or going away with a partner.
Oh, okay.
I never thought that would come around, you
Hmm.
know? And then I very much enjoyed going away for a weekend with my partner. Because when I first heard about other couples doing that, I'm like, oh my God, no, spending the night. And I often ask couples that in my seminars and in sessions, what's more intimate, spending the night or oral sex? What do you think is more intimate, Angela?
I would say spending the night.
Spending the night. And a lot of people
Yeah.
say it's almost 50-50. And for
Oh,
me, oral
okay.
sex is more intimate. 60
Hmm.
40, about 60-40, I would say.
Okay.
A lot of people think spending the night is more intimate. I'm like, why? You already know we kissing we're already doing these things, right? You understand that.
Right.
But they're like, yeah, but I'm like, in my mind, it's just sleep. Like, yeah, but you're cuddled. You understand we cuddle during sex that we're already having that you already know about.
Well, I
But
guess
go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess it's each individual's perception of the word intimate.
Well, sure, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a right or wrong thing. It's just what is
Right.
it to you? So
What is
I've
it to
had
you?
the
Yeah.
conversations with different partners' wives in within
Yeah.
our relationship, and they were like, "Yeah, no," and some of them were not ready, so we didn't do it.
Okay.
And then they were like, "It's too intimate," and I'm like, "That's like, but you know where he puts his mouth, and I put mine. We're already intimate. I'm going to send him home in the morning. I have a husband at home. I cannot keep him. You know, we already
Yeah.
cuddle anyway. We're already in bed together. Like,
Yeah.
so other people, like I know a woman who suffered a lot of physical and sexual trauma. So she said, so to lay down with a man I hardly know and close my eyes, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So that, that was her
Yeah.
reasoning for the sleep being too intimate. So
Yeah.
everybody is
It's
different.
different. Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I love the sleeping, the cuddling, the waking up, they're like, yeah, but then you have sex in the morning. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
want to spend the night. What is it I'm thinking? I'm like, I know what happens.
So I have this question. Let's see, how do I phrase this? How, if you have, okay, you're in a marriage, relationship, whatever, and your partner is able to, find, is able to find the women or find the men, and then you're struggling to find, or your friend doesn't show up. How do you have that conversation with your partner, to say, hey, I'm not sure how I'm asking this question. Okay, this is the question. Your partner is having their dates. Their dates seem to always show up, but your dates don't. Do you think it's fair to tell your partner, well, my dates aren't showing up. I'm feeling some type of way that your dates are always showing up. Do you think that's a fair, do you think it's fair to ask your partner not to go on their date?
Um, it is not fair to ask your partner not to go on your date. You need to get out of your feelings and pick your grapes from higher vines. You need to reconfirm your dates. You do.
Yeah.
And compersion is not a natural thing for us, but for everyone, some people it is natural. And compersion is a polyamorous word that means to be happy for your partner's happiness,
Oh, okay.
right? And we practice, if you will, in everyday life compersion. It's like, if your bestie, your best girlfriend, Angela, has been
Mm,
trying to get this VP position, let's say for 3 years now, and
mm,
you know how bad she wants this job. And
right.
finally, the fourth year, she calls you, she goes, I got it. You go, you got
Mm,
what? She goes, I got the VP position. You are as happy for her, if not more so, than
right.
she is for herself because you know how much it means to her. That's
Right. Right.
compersion, to be happy
Okay.
for your partner, your friend, your family's happiness, right?
Okay.
So some of us have compersion naturally. I have compersion naturally. Like my partner finds a new woman that's a new submissive, and he got somebody he can beat and not be talking about me. I'm like, yeah, let's go beat that ass. Go beat that ass. I'm gonna buy you a new flogger. Here's a whip. Go get that girl. you need some arnica to help soothe your booty afterwards, because he coming for you. He coming. I'm happy for him in that way, but
Uh-huh.
the conversation is within. I need to get over my feelings of not enoughness
Okay.
and pick my grapes. And you can tell your partner, I was feeling a little triggered when you went on your date the other night because my date canceled and I wanted to tell you to stay home with me. You can have a conversation with your partner.
Okay.
It's okay to express your moments of insecurities and or jealousies. It's
Right.
just don't take it out on them and don't blame them for
Okay.
what's not happening with you. There's always
Yeah.
going to be some imbalance. Sometimes, sometimes you might go, if you are not poly, let's say if you're more swinger type, and you go
Mm,
to a resort for a week and your partner's more popular than you are. All of
that's
the
true. Yeah.
baby, oh my God, girl, your man is fine. Do you want to take over to the
Oh,
sign?
you're
And all these other dudes want to get away from me.
okay. Because I
It
mean,
happens.
I have a couple friend who that seems to sometimes be the issue, and of course I don't know what to tell her because I'm like I
Pick,
don't have an answer for you,
pick
but
her grapes
I
and
said
pick her grapes some
listen,
higher vines. She needs to either put out a longer line further away or wider. She needs to cast a wider net. She needs to
yeah,
double check the commitments of the people who are coming.
right,
She needs
yeah,
she needs a better picker.
yeah,
She needs a better picker. That's
yeah,
all. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's a kind of look within. It's just leave
yeah.
your partner alone because he coming home.
He's coming home
He gonna come
exactly.
home. He gonna tell you about it. And a lot of times they come home, and them dates weren't all that anyway. That's why he come home. you you are you are the thing that the person that he loves.
Right, right,
And even
right.
if he loves that other person, they're loving for a whole bunch of different reasons. But if
Yeah,
it's just a sex thing, let him
yeah.
go have his fun. Because as soon as he come home, he gonna want you anyway. Because that is not that new thing doesn't have all the things that you got.
That's true. That's
You know
true.
all the tricks and trades. Then you make him a
Oh,
sandwich afterwards.
make him a sandwich.
The other girl be like, "Thank you, bye." She ain't gonna
I
cook
don't
for
want to
him.
make that sandwich
Thank you.
anyway.
That was nice. Thank you, bye. She ain't gonna make him no sandwich. She ain't gonna
Right.
ask him about his day. Don't even get caught up. Don't even worry
That's
about it.
true. That's true.
Tell her to call me. Tell her she can book a free clarity session through my website.
I will let her know. So an ethical non-monogamous relationship, the opportunity to fulfill diverse sexual fantasies can be greater. So what's the most daring fantasy you've explored with your partner?
Jeez. That was
Can you
so
say
long
maybe?
ago. I have no fantasies left.
Oh, dang.
Maybe from the beginning, well, let me back up. I didn't have that many fantasies. There wasn't too many things I was anxious to do.
Okay.
I think the only thing that we did that was daring was like a group sex, like an orgy.
Okay.
That, yeah, because that was because we weren't when we started, we did everything separately. We weren't doing things together. So
Okay.
he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing,
Oh,
you see. So, and after a couple of years, we had met a couple who kind of slowly kind of reeled us in.
really?
Oh, God, they reeled us in, girl. And they were like, yeah, we're having a party. It's this was years ago, the wife's 30th birthday or something. And we're having a small group of people. And we'd love to have you guys come. And the husband and my husband had met and they had just become real like boys. And
Yeah.
then he was like, I think I'm ready. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, we can do it. We're going to go. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, no, we're going to go to this thing. I'm like, okay. Because he never wanted to see me with another man
Right.
talking
Okay.
about that, not wanting to see your what. And
Right.
I'm like, well, if you're with other women, because I'm not bi, I'm going to be with
Right.
men. So
Right.
if you're doing it, I'm doing it, or nobody's doing it. What you want to do?
Right.
That's how
Right.
that
Right.
negotiation went.
That big a
And and,
size.
and so yeah, so we went to this party, and I don't know if this is a channel to get into those details, but yeah, we went into So that was the most daring thing that we did. And
Okay.
that was interesting because I was so afraid of how he might be triggered to see me with somebody else.
Right.
And actually when he did see me and then I looked over and saw her and he was like,
Oh, okay. Because I was just going to ask, how did you ensure that he felt, he
it's
felt
not my job. It's not my job to be, it's not your job to make sure your partner is secure. It is an inside job.
okay.
I did
Okay.
look over to see how he was because we were across the room from each other, but he was busy with his own things and I was busy with my own thing. But then when we did
Okay.
catch each
So
other's eye,
clearly he was okay.
he was like this. He gave me the thumbs up. He was like,
Thumbs
I'm
up.
good. I'm like, well, look what all you handling. I guess you are good. You know, he was quite fine. So,
Okay.
but other couples that I've met throughout the years, dealing with some couples have decided to play separately, like in the swinger community, because of the insecurities and the jealousy.
Okay. Yeah.
So instead of having this emotional turmoil and nobody has a good time, you go to that room, I go to this room, I see you at the end of the night or the weekend or whatever. And then that way, if you don't see it, it's, out of sight, out of mind. Then you can focus on the person that you are with at that time.
But do you think and I know it's different for every couple, I understand that, but don't you think that it still should be a conversation, after, the next day or whatever, so those
About
feelings aren't, well, about about your night. Say, for instance, about your, like you gave the example of folks go to different rooms because they don't want to see it, but you still know it's happening. So
right?
don't you think it's a good idea for that couple to come together and have a discussion about their night?
Only if that's what they wish to do. Because if it's going to upset you to know about my night, why are we going to talk about it? Why?
Well,
Just to upset you. So you didn't see it, but now I'm going to give you play by play, and now you're over there all pissed off about it. As opposed to knowing that I did it, you're okay that I did it. But you don't want to hear about it. And that was kind of the thing with with my husband when we did everything separately. He
mm,
didn't want all he wanted to know was who I'm with, where I am, when I started, when I was over, am I safe? I,
okay.
on the other hand, wanted to know what she looked like, could she take it, how much fun was it, was she wet, what sounds did she? I wanted every detail because for me it was a turn on.
Oh, okay.
You see, he wanted. I don't need to know. Are you safe? Did you have a good time? You
Okay.
gonna see him again? That's all he would need to know.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get this is the best thing about ethical non-monogamy. You get to design the relationship that is best for you and your partner.
Okay.
You get to literally design it in the manner that works for you too.
For you. Okay.
This is not a right or wrong. This is a good or bad. It's like, does it work for you that in that way? So if it
Okay.
works for you, we're going to go away separate and come back and we're going to talk all the details because that's hot, that's sexy. Um,
Okay.
um, there is oh my God, what is it called? Oh, my hand's itching. Um, I'm trying to think of it's a BDSM term. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Lord have when the husband is watching her wife have what when the husband's
Voyeurism?
watching his wife, huh?
Voyeurism?
No, when only but when he's humiliated. Good Lord, I can't believe I'm
Oh,
forgetting the term. Um, I,
it'll come to you. Watch, it'll come to you when we get off. It's like, that's it.
I know, I cannot believe I'm forgetting because the women do it as well. So I know a woman, tuck hold. There it is. So voyeurism is when you watch other people have sex and you find that a
Right,
turn on, right?
right,
Exhibitionism is when you enjoy being watched. That's a turn on.
right.
Cuckold is when the husband who enjoys his wife watching his wife have sex, usually with a bull, but the bull and or the wife have to humiliate him
Oh,
or degrade him emotionally, maybe even
oh,
physically. That is
oh.
cuckold.
Okay,
A lot of people
okay,
confuse cuckold with voyeurism because there are
okay,
men who like to watch their wives have sex, but they're not being humiliated. It's just a turn on for them. That's voyeurism. But
okay.
cuckold
Hmm.
is when you have to have humiliation and or degradation of some sort involved.
Wow.
So if the man
Okay.
is not being degraded, like the bull would be like, look at the size of, my penis. It's so much bigger than yours. You'll never satisfy her the way I am. You're useless. You're a punk. Look how
Wow.
small and
Okay.
tiny you are. You don't even, do as good as I do. So that's cuckolding. There
Oh,
are
okay.
women that are called queen cucks, where
Oh.
the woman likes to be degraded. So I know a woman who loves to set up dates for her husband,
Mm-hmm.
have sex, and then
Mm-hmm.
when he comes back, he has sex with her,
Mm-hmm.
but then he degrades her by saying
Okay.
she's like, how much better was this woman's vagina than mine? Was
Okay.
it, tell me how much better it was. So she's being
Right.
humiliated, if you will, maybe not degraded, but humiliated as he
Right.
recounts his time with this other woman and how much better this other woman's sex was than the wife. That's
Wow.
her that's her kink, that's her turn
That's
on.
our king. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And normalizing kinks is, you know kinks and fetishes, which is the difference between a kink and a fetish. But that's her kink. So
Okay. Oh, interesting.
yeah, you know the difference between a kink and a fetish.
What? No, tell us.
Okay, so a kink is something that is sexually arousing, that's considered outside of the norm,
Okay.
right? But you don't necessarily have to have it in order to be aroused. So let's say
Okay.
you have these beautiful red stiletto shoes.
Mm.
And when you wear those red stiletto shoes, your husband is so turned on and has sex with you, and it's just amazing. But if you don't wear them, he still gets turned on and still has sex with
Okay.
you. So the shoes are a kink.
Okay.
But a fetish is something that is considered sexually arousing outside of the norm,
Mm-hmm.
but it must be in place in order for the arousal to happen.
Oh,
So
okay.
if he had a fetish for your red shoes, if you did not wear them, he would not be turned on. They must be on
Oh,
your feet in order for him to
gotcha.
be sexually aroused. So people use it interchangeably,
Okay.
right? But a kink and outside of the norm is, we don't normally consider shoes sexually arousing.
Right. Right. Okay.
Some people may have a kink for women who wear glasses. Like, put your glasses
Mm.
on, baby. Put your glasses on. You look so
Oh.
intelligent with your glasses on. Love you. I
Right.
know a man
Right.
who
Okay.
loves women who speak on stage. Like, oh my God, I love the way you control the room. That's like a kink
Right.
for him, like
Right.
that's like sexually arousing. But it's not a fetish.
Not a
You don't
fetish.
need to go
Okay.
see you speak before he has sex with you. So
Okay. So
yeah.
I have one last question for you, my love.
Okay.
What does being unapologetically 50 plus mean to you?
Oh, dating younger men, doing what I want, loving anybody that I want, living where I want, making as much money as I want, staying as healthy as I can be to the best of my ability, to keep moving and to keep loving and living as long as I can, especially the younger men, because they're fun.
I'm sure they appreciate you too.
Hey, I love those who love me. I'm telling you, men think that young men don't like older women.
Yeah.
And like, well, you can't have no babies. He never wanted nobody. Two of my partners never wanted children.
Right.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
we we want the same things in life. No more babies.
And I think that's one thing as older women we have to get out of our own heads that we
We
are no
do.
longer desirable, that we are no longer, because we are in a culture, as you mentioned before, in a society, especially America, where we value youth. We don't really look to women, in our age range as, as being sexy or
There's so many.
desirable,
There's
and
so many
that's
men, so many young men that love older women. I am telling you. And then if you date men from outside of this country, outside of the US,
yeah.
there are even more to choose from. And I'm not saying, you want to marry them and keep them.
Right.
You know what?
No, not
And I
necessarily. Yeah.
understand that we want partnerships, and some of us want long-standing relationships and somebody to grow old with. And I'm not saying to ditch that goal. I'm
Right.
saying you don't have to just sit in the house and wait for somebody to fall through the roof.
Right. Right.
And from the sexual health part of it, orgasms are important for women, just as important for men as we age, right? Think of your body as a Rolls Royce. If you had a Rolls Royce sitting out there and it was your second or third car, you didn't drive it every day, but you still got to go out and turn the engine over every now and again to keep
Right.
everything lubricated. So even
Right.
if you are having sex just with yourself, do that.
Right.
Do that because it is good for your health mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, physically, spiritually. Orgasms give you feel good hormones, they keep your skin clear. Listen, I had one this morning. They keep your skin clear.
Yeah.
So it's not that you have to depend on this other man or woman to satisfy you
Right.
sexually. Learn to satisfy yourself. And of
Right.
course, we have all those satisfying products on organicloving.com.
I will have her information in the description, definitely. So, your coaching, tell us just a little bit about your coaching, and I will also have that information in the description. So,
Yeah, so
folks,
I am an ethical non-monogamous coach specializing in people who are curious about either ethical non-monogamy or transitioning in or through. So they could be just starting their journey or already in their journey, but they're hitting a bump. A lot of people tend to think that you have to do this trial and error, and I'm here to help you speed up the process to get you over these things like emotions and emotional management and radical communication and honest communication quickly so that you can enjoy this transition. And I help people disentangle monogamy. So anyone is able to book a free clarity call with me. It's a free 20-minute call on my site on organiclovin.com and decide what program is available. So we have 6-week program and we have a 2-day VIP intensive. Like if you just want to get to like I ain't got 6 weeks. We need to get this done. It's 2 days, 7 hours of
oh
in-depth,
wow, that's intense.
informative coaching.
Yeah.
All of that
Okay.
is available on my site. And I'm available. So
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. And your book, because I have
my
your
book
book.
is
Your book,
An African American Guide to Ethical Non-Monogamy.
good
And that is
read. I
about
like it.
the how, why, and with whom to explore your expanding love style. So, some
Yeah.
of what I talked about today with regards to understanding the foundational differences of the love styles that are under ethical non-monogamy so that you could then decide, do I want this or do I want that? And once you know a little bit more about how they function. And lastly, I now have an ethical non-monogamy quiz on my site
Oh,
that it's free. And you
okay.
take the quiz, it'll help you decide, am I more monogamous or am I leaning towards monogamy? One part, the second part kind of helps you discover which area of non-monogamy is you're best fitted for. And if you are
Okay.
African American or dating an African American, there's a whole segment on how important the cultural aspect is important to you in ethical non-monogamy. So that is also on the website. It's a free quiz, and you can take it and figure out,
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
I am more. Yeah, no, I'm more monogamous. It's the quiz has told me it's the most in-depth quiz right now that is available.
Okay. I'm about to check that
See,
out.
see where you because it'll
See
tell you
what?
like it's like yeah, you're based on what you've answered, you're better off monogamous.
Okay. I will definitely look at that. Have me and Pierre look at that.
Separately,
Thank
see what
you.
see what you come up with. Be
Yeah.
uh-oh, we got something to talk about.
We got to talk, baby. Well,
Babe, I
thank.
gotta go. We're not meant to be together after 30 years.
Oh
I
no,
took the
that won't.
quiz. Taylor told me I had to go. That's Pierre talking, not you. That's
Right, right.
Pierre like, baby Taylor, you see Taylor said she said I got to go. I
Got
know
to
that the
go.
30 years we've been together don't count no more, but hey, like, do not blame this on me. Have a discussion
No,
with your partner.
definitely. Well, thank you, Miss Taylor. I always love having you on. You are just so full of information and yeah. And I really love about you is just how open and authentic you are about your lifestyle, about your love style, I should say, the love style, and just the way you talk about it. to me, it makes it easier to digest and listen to because
Oh,
one, you're not holding back, you're being open and honest, and you're letting us into also a little bit of your lifestyle. So I truly appreciate you when you come on and just are so open and honest. And I each time, I mean, I think this is the second time you've been on, I learn.
yes.
Yeah, I learned because it is a lifestyle, and I say lifestyle, but it is a lifestyle that a lot of people we don't talk about it, or we're ashamed to talk about it, or we don't want to be judged, if we talk about it. And I think it should be more open for people to feel comfortable and say, you know what, I have this curiosity. I want to talk about this, and we need to get out of that. Well, you know, our religion says we can't do it this way. And yeah, just be open to at least listening to it, even if it's not something you want to do, or it's not something you feel comfortable doing, just be open to listening to other people's, the way they love. And
Yes.
I think we'd be much better off as a country if we would just kind of say, okay, this is the way you want to love. I might not agree with it, or it might not be for me, but you know what? I still want to learn about it. I still want to be
Yes.
opening to hear.
Yes. And thank you so much for having me. I enjoy all those in-depth questions. I'm like, oh, that's a hard one. Let me think. I appreciate you having me on. This has been really good, Angela. And I mean, your
Thank
questions
you.
are amazing. And I mean, as open as I am, I can assure you, I am not everybody's cup of tea. And they're like, we don't like her. We don't like what she talk about. We don't like. I mean, we came out to my mom and our
Yeah.
close family, our kids. Our kids are younger. We came out to our kids and young adults at the time, but they were
Right,
like,
right.
y'all were up to something anyway. Just
And you're right. It needs to be, that's not something you should hide. You don't have to give them details, but it's not something, yeah, you should hide from, because it's going to eventually come out, you
well,
know.
if it depends on how you're living it, right? Like you don't have to tell anybody.
Right,
The reason why we came out is because I was, podcast speaking on,
right,
and I didn't want my kids to find out accidentally.
right,
My
right.
business was growing and on podcasts, and shows like yours. So I'm like, I didn't want them
Right.
to find out accidentally. So we just told them. So,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah,
mother
that
was
makes
like,
sense.
I don't know. Well, why? He gonna get some girlfriend. I'm like, he already got a girlfriend. What? I'm just letting you know. Hey, some of your church folks follow me. They're behind and they come to
All right, secretly they following me. All
me.
right,
Thank
y'all.
you.
That's the end. Again, thank you, Miss Taylor, for coming on. Please, you guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and look up Miss Taylor. You might find that, you might find something out about yourself. Go to her website, take her quiz, get her book. Her book is amazing. So, thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.